individual, I believe that skill literally is what is it called? There are two dimensions to skill I used to teach some time back. I would say that there are of course life skills, literally, and then I believe that there are technical skills. Don't mind me. I just wanted to have what is it called? Some basic contribution, especially to the life of any person that gets to meet me. And after a while I found out that of course these two are still very powerful. If we talk about life skills, we are talking about I think I found five of them. And life skill is not life hacks or what's it called? You know they used to call something life skills. Now what is life skills? Literally they call life skills when you're talking about what's it called, maybe social and public mannerism, personal grooming, basic stuff. Well, maybe sure, but literally when you talk about life skills, you're talking about your capacity for discovery, the human capacity for innovation, management, then resourcefulness, and also his creative dimension that has to do with design thinking. That's the life skills that I know. There are just five of them. And when we talk about technical skills now begin to span into a whole lot of stuff right now, from UI UX to now. There has been a bridge between these two stuff, the technical skill and the life skill. So people tend to go learn the technical skill forgetting the life skill. So people learn, let's say forgive me right now, I wanted to, okay, let me use UI UX. People learn UI UX, they learn UI UX, and they learn UI UX. But now this is the funny thing with the real stuff that we are trying to correct to this class. People now have tools in their hand but don't know how to use the tools, because tools in themselves are helpless. Your degrees, your certification, every of those things that you have, literally, your degrees are tools. Your BSc accounting is not literally, you are not an accountant. You only have accounting as a tool. And one of the things we hope to teach in this class literally is how to see everything as tools. And then if you see things as tools and as not the end result, you'll be able to maximize them, because what you see determines what you do with what for instance right now, let me put it this way. I think this is the bottom line. How you see things and what you see things are as determines what you do with them, literally. So if you see, for instance, now somebody learns, maybe for instance, somebody learns graphics designing. Graphics designing is a medium. Graphics designing is a tool. To do what? That's the question most people have not answered. Accounting is a tool. Mass communication, forgive me, medicine and surgery, whatever it is, whatever you learned as a technical skill through education and academics is a tool. Down to teaching is a tool, literally. The capacity to teach is a tool. And the question now becomes, an average person literally that I've met have issues now maximizing tools. So we have people that have the tools but don't know how to use them. So that is what the skill lot literally as a platform is literally for, especially in these times, and as touching the curriculums that we have broken into. The skill lot is going to just serve as that technological consciousness to every young person literally out there. And for this month, this is the month of June, though we're supposed to start May, but this is the month of June. The theme we're going to be considering is developing hybridized career for the future of work. Developing hybridized career for the future of work. And I hope in the name of Jesus to do a very good job, if Jesus help me, and I'm sure he will. you know Developing hybridized career for the future of work. Now, this topic I'm sharing literally has been in my heart. I'm not kidding right now. I started meditating on this topic literally since 2020. That's some 3 years back right now. And the first time the word hybridized career came into my consciousness was in 2019. And great stuff. And I'm grateful to God for, because, then let me see it. Let me just move on now. You know, when the thought Hybridize Career came into my, I'd never studied upon it before. I'd never read it before. I'm very careful what I read, even as a person. But I read a lot, but I'm always very careful what I read. So I don't know what I was doing that day, but something just dropped into my mind, and Hybridize Career, and I have a ability to question thoughts, and I just, what is Hybridize Careers, and I saw something like fusion, and I have a very visionary, what's it called, I'm not to anything, but I have a very visionary, you know work and all of those stuff. So it's not as if I saw vision like open vision. People, maybe I should explain. Some time back on our mental application class, we talked about thought visions. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's not you now sit down, they now open screen, before you. That's not what I'm talking about now. My thoughts become visions. I see imaginative, pictures more than, do you I'm trying to explain so that somebody does not, take me out of context. Now, I had a thought vision like that, and I saw a fusion of two things that were not seemingly related, and then fused into one, and then it was that one that was now the singular whole. And as at that time, 2019, I had no understanding of that stuff. I literally didn't have an understanding. I just like, well, anything happened. So 2020, it became so strong in my heart, so I started working around it. And as at 2020, I was still working in a traditional school, literally, and 2021, I think partially 2021 also, I was still working in traditional school. So I used that opportunity to test many of the things I'm going to be teaching us in this session and in this series, literally. And I found out something with that, sojourn that I took, and it's the fact that, number one, the world literally does not need a singular, what's it called right now? A singular, how will I put it? Career path. Everybody is looking for individuals that can hybridize a new, is called creating, I think some financial people call it creating a new market, because in recent times right now, the market that is being created is new. Like the force of the market is becoming extremely and exceedingly new. Are we still together, literally? So for instance, the job opportunities when our grandfathers and fathers were, still young, and they were still, strolling around the entire what's it called, the entire face of Nigeria. Well, it's not the same job opportunities right now. For instance, everybody now knows that if you want to get a job, like, it's so, no, like, without anybody telling anybody, everybody now knows tech jobs pay. I was having a conversation with one of my very good friends. So she studied, hey, can I remember the name of the course? Geophysics, I believe so. Yes, she studied geophysics at Adekunle Ajasìn University. That's AUA. That's Akumba. And when she graduated, let me keep all of those details. But when she graduated, she got a job at, she just got a job, one random job like that. And when we got talking those times back, she told me it seems she was going to do this tech thing, kind of stuff. I thought she was joking. Now the lady is into the tech world so terribly. I used to call her tech guru. She's so much in the tech world that she works for one of the top brands in Nigeria right now, and she, of course, is a UI UX designer. Like, she works. I can't explain in detail because of the class what she does, but she's so. And we're having a conversation last month, and we're talking about that transition into the tech world, and she said something very powerful, and she said, most people don't want to. Most people literally don't have. Okay, this is what she said. Let me paraphrase. She says most courses don't have a market anymore, especially in this time and in this day. Most courses don't have a transitive market anymore. The kind of market that is available right now is, she said, of course, she said tech, but I smart because it's not tech in quotes, is an hybridized. People are looking for hybridization. There are newer problems, and then new problems need, of course, new solutions, but we are using old solutions to attempt new problems. And this is one of the challenge with the school education, the school system, because the school keep churning out individuals with the old, curriculums, old problems, or old solutions to newer model of problems. One thing I do with my life is I keep looking for, because I want to be transgenerational as much as I can. Jesus helping me, and I'm not kidding about it. So I tend to stay on the what's it called? The I want to know what's happening. You get that kind of stuff. Literally, I want to know what's happening in every. So I follow, of course. There are people I follow, but one of the few persons I follow, that's Elon Musk, great man. I respect him a lot, and I respect his contribution to humanity, literally. And every time I listen to his interviews, or I get the opportunity to watch him walk, I've never been to where he is before, but you could travel through videos, through YouTube's. YouTube's is a very good place if you want to travel without having visa. They will help you see places and see people that you might not be able to meet because of the limitation in time. Now, when I see him walk or talk to people, have meetings, especially maybe virtual meetings, I'm always intrigued by the kind of perspective that kind of individual has, that he keeps pushing himself to be relevant in the face of new problems. Because an average Nigerian right now, literally an average person in the university, and this is my heart cry. That is why, as much as the skill lot is very valuable as a platform, I try as much as possible to put down the prices so that an average person in the university can get access to this stuff. Because the way we are being trained there, we might not literally be relevant. And I'm not really being sarcastic or being wicked. We really might not be relevant, and I'm not kidding about it. I was having a conversation with somebody in recent time. I just met her. So we're talking about what she's studying in school. She's studying somewhere in the north. So we're talking about what she's studying, and she told me she's studying. Hey, can I remember one course that has to do with all this horticulture, and I can't remember the course anymore. And I asked her, "Do people still study this course?" She says, "Yes, now people still study." And they gave you admission and you went. You like they gave you admission with their law. You went to study the course. Like it's around the horticulture stuff. They shall give me one nice name. And like I wanted to ask her, like, when you get out, what do you want to do with your life? That's first the question. But so that I'll not make somebody I'm just meeting for the first time or feel bad or have a maybe bad notion about me, I just let it slide. The question is, what do you want to do with that kind of stuff? What okay, do give me BSc horticulturist? Like, do Nigerians buy flower? Literally, I'm not. I do. Let me ask somebody on this platform. Like, when was the last time you?
Nigerians buy flowers.
I know. I start when we talk. I know, but I can't remember the last time me I bought flower. People that buy flower, there are people that buy flower. They are in Abuja. There are people that buy. They are in Abuja. People that buy flowers are Abuja people. Abuja people have money. The federal capital that's the federal capital territory now. Oluwatomisin. You come to Matogun, you now say you should buy flower. Who will you buy flower for? That kind of stuff. Now, are we still together? Is someone still with me? Mr. Karima has defended horticulturists now. I know what to do. Am I still audible, or is just Mr. Karim alone that is hearing me? Okay. I think this morning class, most people are still sleeping. Literally. This morning class is just that will help us. But we are not going to change it actually. We're going to leave the classes still, in the morning and all that. Very important. Okay, let's get back to work. Are we still together? So, a whole lot of stuff right there. So the real essence is the fact that new markets are being created. I'm writing that on my screen. New markets are being created, but we don't have newer method or newer models to harness these markets. We don't have new solutions to give into these new markets that is being created. For instance, right now, last week Friday, is it? Yes, last week Friday, I was having a conversation. I have intellectual conversations with people that seem intellectual. Last week Friday, I was at my church, and We were about to take a trip, and I was having a conversation with a very lovely sister like that, and we're talking about AI and artificial intelligence, and I like it when ladies talk technology. It used to give me hope of the future. And we're talking about AI, we're talking about technology in that light, and we're talking about the fact that the AI stuff everybody is clamoring on right now is going to cause a lot of problems literally, because I don't have a problem with AI. I love AI literally as a tool, but tools are innocent. That's one thing I found out. Tools are innocent until they get into the hands. Tools are not good or evil. It is men that are either good or, and that's one of the things we want to talk about in this session. We'll talk about developing technological intelligence, because it takes technological intelligence to make a tool either good or evil, because it's man that uses tool. A tool cannot use itself. I wrote a post sometime on Facebook that AI does not know what to do. AI is just an helpless tool. AI does not know what, people are asking questions like, what can AI do? The question is not what can AI do. The question is, what can you do with AI? And the same way with technologies, the question is not what will the technology do. The question is not what will accounting do. The question I tell young people to ask themselves is, what can you do with accounting? What can you do with graphics designing? What can you do with design, thinking? What can you do with UI UX? No, UI UX on power. Okay, on power. Nice, forgive me to use Yoruba. Okay, people say, if you learn UI UX and you will gain money. Okay, if you learn you if you learn UI UX, the challenge is there is no money in UI UX. There is no money in anything. Tools don't. It's just like you say, if you buy hammer and you will have money. The question is, did the hammer want to be vomiting money? There is no money in hammer. There is only money in the person that has learned how to utilize hammer. So he has a value proportion. Maybe he's a carpenter, he's a woodworker. He has a value proportion, so he knows what to do with hammer to create something that somebody is going to appreciate. So the money is not necessarily in the tool, the money is in the value. Now, how you will now bridge the tool and the value together is what we want to learn in Hybridize Career for the future. Because the future of work is in the hands of those that can develop hybridization. And when I talk about Hybridize Career, don't first think I'm maybe going to start talking about sociology and pharmacy. We will pick out the relevant stuff, but we are solving a global, what's it called, issue. Am I correct? I repeat again, it is not what the technology can do, it is what can you do with the technology.